The head coach has never set foot in the country he represents. His players have never played a home game on their own soil. Their nation is in chaos, with armed gangs controlling huge portions of the capital. And yet, against all logic and all odds, this team qualified for the FIFA World Cup. This is the story of Haiti, a team that achieved the impossible. But in a tale of triumph born from such dysfunction, the biggest question isn't how they did it. It's who will pay the price for their success, and who will really profit from their moment on the world stage. On November 18th, 2025, something finally broke in Haiti. But it wasn't another institution or another building. It was the tension. For the first time in what felt like forever, the streets of Port-au-Prince weren't filled with fear, but with an explosion of pure joy. Fireworks lit up the night sky. Music and dancing erupted across the country. The reason for this nationwide release? A 2-0 victory over Nicaragua in a football match played hundreds of miles away in Curaçao. That victory did more than just win a game. It ended a 52-year drought, securing Haiti's place in the FIFA World Cup for the first time since 1974. For a nation often called the poorest in the Americas, a country besieged by gang violence and political instability, this was more than a sporting achievement. It was a shot of confidence for a populace under constant siege. The moment was so decisive, so unifying, it seemed to transcend the country's deepest divisions. For a few hours, the invisible walls of gang-controlled territories felt like they had dissolved. It was a temporary truce, brokered not by politicians or peacekeepers, but by 11 men chasing a ball in a foreign land. A former Haitian senator, Patrice Dumont, captured the feeling perfectly, saying that with the qualification, it was as if Haitians refound their confidence. People who hadn't dared to be on the streets after dark for years poured out of their homes, suddenly sure that, on this night, nothing bad would happen. It was a collective exhale, a moment of profound pride in a country that had been starved of it for far too long. A call even went up from the people: unlock the country and eradicate the gangs. This victory wasn't just about football. It was a desperate plea for a new beginning. But as the echoes of the celebration faded, a much more complex reality began to set in. The journey to this moment was a testament to resilience, but was also a glaring spotlight on a system in total collapse. So how does a team pull off a historic qualification for a World Cup without playing a single home game? How do they succeed when their own country is deemed too dangerous? Their stadium is unusable, and their own coach can't even enter. The story of Haiti's qualification is a case study in surviving chaos. It begins with a fundamental failure. The team is, for all intents and purposes, homeless. All of their qualifying home matches were played at neutral sites, primarily in Curaçao, because it was too dangerous to host them in Port-au-Prince. Imagine the disadvantage. No home crowd, just the sterile atmosphere of a foreign stadium and the constant logistical nightmare of travel. They were forced to build a fortress on the road because the gates to their own home were locked. The dysfunction runs even deeper. The team's head coach, a Frenchman named Sébastien Migny, was appointed in March 2024. He's the architect of this miracle, the man who guided the team to the top of their group. Yet, he has never been to Haiti. It's impossible because it's too dangerous, he told a French magazine, noting that no international flights were even landing in the country. He managed the team remotely, relying on phone calls and video footage. He would get information from Federation officials on the ground to monitor local talent, then piece together a strategy from thousands of miles away. Think about that for a second. The coach of a World Cup-bound team can't visit the country he represents. He can't see the grassroots pitches, meet local players in person, or feel the footballing pulse of the nation. He is a general commanding an army from a different continent, a testament to both his skill and the utter breakdown of the system he's supposed to be a part of. While other national teams train in multi-million-dollar complexes, many Haitian players have trained on dirt fields under extreme conditions. Their resilience in rising from those circumstances and competing at an international level is almost unbelievable. But this resilience is born of necessity, not choice. It highlights a staggering disconnect. A team good enough for the world stage, yet completely cut off from its own national footballing infrastructure. This wasn't just a qualification, it was a defiant act of survival. If the official federation and national infrastructure have failed the team, who has stepped in? The answer is scattered across the globe, in the dressing rooms of European leagues and in the hearts of Haitians living abroad. This team's success is inextricably linked to its diaspora. This isn't a squad of unknown amateurs. It's built on world-class talent, much of it nurtured outside of Haiti. There's Melchi Dumernay, a star in the women's game who went from playing in the streets of Marebelise to top clubs in Europe. There's Jean Rickner Bellegarde, who has competed in the English Premier League. Fafa Picault has shared a locker room with Lionel Messi. Danley Jean-Jacques, a midfielder for the Philadelphia Union, was a key contributor to the qualification campaign. And Ricardo Ade, a towering center back, has made a name for himself in South America, playing for Giants LDU Quito in Ecuador. These athletes are more than just players. They're informal ambassadors. They challenge the relentless narrative of poverty and violence that dominates headlines about Haiti. They defend their nation publicly and serve as crucial support systems. In fact, the recruitment of these talented players from the diaspora has been identified as a key part of the team's success, allowing the coach to scout talent across Europe and beyond. This reliance on external talent paints a complicated picture. On one hand, it's a powerful story of a global community rallying around its homeland. On the other hand, it highlights a massive structural gap. Sponsors, NGOs, and the diaspora are effectively substituting for a functioning government and federation. They are plugging holes in a sinking ship. The team's survival depends on this ad hoc network rather than on a sustainable, institutionally funded program. This creates a paradox. The very players who represent Haiti's greatest hope are also a symbol of the talent the country struggles to support at home. Their success is Haiti's success, but it's achieved despite the system, not because of it. They are a global lifeline, keeping the dream of Haitian football afloat while the sport's institutional heart back home remains on life support. When a team qualifies for the World Cup without a home and with a coach who can't visit, you have to ask bigger questions. This isn't just about player resilience. It's about institutional collapse. And at the center of it is the Haitian Football Federation, the FHF. The evidence of systemic failure is overwhelming. You don't need a leaked memo to see the problem. The inability to secure a national stadium safe enough for an international match is the most glaring failure. It's a basic responsibility of any football federation, and its absence speaks volumes. This failure cascades downward. If you can't guarantee security for one match, how can you run a national league? How can you maintain training facilities? How can you coordinate between the government and the federation? The result is players on dirt fields and a coach managing by phone. In January 2026, Haiti's Minister of Youth and Sports held a meeting to prepare for the World Cup. The goals included creating a national commission and developing a support plan. The fact that this meeting happened after qualification and that one of its goals was to define a clear governance framework tells you everything. It's reactive, not proactive. They're scrambling to build a structure that should have been in place for years. Then there's the money. Where does it go? Running a national team, especially one that constantly travels, is incredibly expensive. Where are the resources for stadium maintenance or talent development? While FIFA will provide funding, the deep-seated issues suggest a long history of problems that a single World Cup check won't fix. Tellingly, the federation's leadership is run by a Normalization Committee, a term FIFA uses when a member association's governance has gone so far off the rails that an external body has to step in. The team may be on the world stage, but the federation that oversees them is clearly in crisis. After their impossible climb, Haiti has reached the summit, but the reward for their heroic qualification is a spot in what can only be described as a brutal group draw. Haiti competes in Group C. Who are their opponents? First up, on June 13th in Boston, is Scotland. Then, on June 19th in Philadelphia, they will face one of the most potent teams in the history of the sport, Brazil. Finally, on June 24th in Atlanta, they take on Morocco, an African powerhouse and a recent World Cup semifinalist. It is, without exaggeration, a daunting lineup. This is the cold reality of the World Cup. The underdog fairy tale runs headfirst into the brick wall of elite global competition. Center back Ricardo Ade put it simply, Haiti has always had a fight, and it won't be any different at the World Cup. The most important thing was getting to the World Cup. The nation's only other World Cup appearance, back in 1974, offers a parallel. That team was also celebrated as heroes, but was eliminated in the group stage after losses to Italy, Poland, and Argentina. The odds of a different competitive outcome in 2026 are long. Success for this team likely won't be measured on the scoreboard. But for the players, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Ricardo Ade, who was just 14 when Brazilian stars like Ronaldinho and Ronaldo came to Port-au-Prince for a game of peace, dreams of facing the Seleção. I was still a kid, but I remember watching that match on TV so clearly, he said. My dream was to be on the pitch, and hopefully I'll have the chance to live out that dream this year against a team like Brazil. It's unbelievable. This is the human element that gets lost in the analysis. For these players, simply being there's a victory. Sharing the pitch with the world's best is a validation of their talent and sacrifice. For the nation watching back home, these 3 matches will be more than just games. They will be 90-minute windows where the world sees Haiti not as a story of disaster, but as a nation of fighters. This brings us to the heart of the matter. A World Cup is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. FIFA, the host nations, and a constellation of sponsors are all set to profit immensely. But when the dust settles, what will be left for Haiti? Who is really paying the price for this moment? And who is cashing the checks? Let's start with the most glaring irony: fan access. The whole idea of using this tournament to change Haiti's international image hinges on showcasing the country and its culture. But for many Haitians, the World Cup might be on another planet. Due to U.S. government travel restrictions, it's tough for ordinary citizens to get visas. The very fans whose passion fuels the team will likely be locked out, unable to support them in person. It's a bitter pill to swallow. FIFA preaches unity, but for Haitian supporters, the reality is a closed door. This is where the narrative of a global event collides with the harsh realities of geopolitics. The team plays in state-of-the-art American stadiums, while their own lies in disrepair. While other nations reap economic benefits from hosting, Haiti's significant expense is simply the cost of existing, forced to pay for travel and logistics for every home game. So who benefits? International broadcasters will profit from the compelling underdog story. Host cities like Boston, Philadelphia, and Atlanta will see revenue from tickets and tourism. The players might raise their profiles, potentially leading to more lucrative contracts, a deserved reward. But what about the nation itself? Without a clear, reformed Haitian Football Federation, how much of the FIFA prize money will actually be reinvested in grassroots football and infrastructure? Without a coordinated government strategy, how will this soft power opportunity be converted into tangible wins? The potential beneficiaries are clear: FIFA, sponsors, and individual players. The uncertain beneficiaries are the institutions and the people of Haiti. The players' resilience is inspiring, but it's a double-edged sword. It allows the world to celebrate the feel-good story without looking at the systemic rot that makes such resilience necessary. We celebrate the flower that grows through concrete, but rarely ask why the garden was paved over. The real price is paid by the Haitian people, whose national pride is leveraged for a global spectacle from which they may see little benefit. The real question is whether this will be a catalyst for change or just another chapter in a long history of exploitation. For a nation that is usually in the headlines for crises, the World Cup offers a golden opportunity to change the narrative. Haiti's global image is in desperate need of rehabilitation. The question is, can a football tournament truly be the catalyst for that change? Policy experts argue that it can, but only with a deliberate strategy. This is about leveraging the global spotlight for soft power. For Haiti, this means moving beyond celebration and into strategic action. The government must work with the FHF on a unified communications plan. This means empowering the diaspora to serve as fan ambassadors, organizing cultural events in host cities, and flooding social media with images of Haitian art, music, and history, not just crisis. Diplomatic missions in the U.S. should be organizing pre-game events that showcase the richness of Haitian culture. Every match is a platform. The 90 minutes on the pitch are the main event, but the days surrounding them are the real opportunity. Beyond the tournament, this moment must become a wake-up call for investment. Football needs to become central to Haiti's development strategy. Investing in sports infrastructure does more than produce athletes. It creates jobs, stimulates economies, and provides young people with a constructive outlet. The qualification proves the talent is there. Systematic investment could turn it into a sustainable engine for development. The government is taking initial steps toward creating a national commission at its January 2026 meeting. But success hinges on execution. Will this lead to real federation reform? Will it result in sustained investment? Or will it be a series of photo ops and committees that produce a report that gathers dust on a shelf? The path from a feel-good story to lasting change is difficult. What do you think is the most crucial step Haiti needs to take to make sure this World Cup appearance benefits the entire country, not just a select few? Let us know in the comments. The story of Haiti's 2026 World Cup journey is one of two powerful, conflicting truths. It is a story of incredible human achievement, of resilience, determination, and the power of sport to bring light to the darkest of places. The joy on the streets of Port-au-Prince was absolute. The pride in the hearts of Haitians worldwide is real. The players and their coaches' heroic effort is absolutely real. But it is also a story of deep, systemic failure. A story of a homeless team, a dysfunctional federation, and a global system that often rewards the powerful while celebrating the struggles of the marginalized. The contrast between the gleaming stadiums in America and the dirt pitches in Haiti, between FIFA's revenues and the desperate need on the ground, is a chasm that can't be ignored. This qualification is an immense opportunity, but it's fraught with risk. Without a serious, transparent effort to reform its own institutions and leverage this moment, Haiti risks having its story told without reaping the rewards. It risks being a heartwarming footnote in the 2026 World Cup before the world's attention moves on and the old realities set back in. The Grenadiers have done their part. They have fought their way to the world stage. Now, the question is for the institutions in power, both in Haiti and in the world of football. Who will truly benefit from this beautiful, improbable, and heartbreaking victory?